Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me, but this is not a review. Well, it's sort of a review. I'm going to be going over and giving my thoughts on Aikisha's podcast with her husband entitled F It. And the F of the day was finale. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Listen, the year is 2025 and I am trying to integrate different kinds of content on my channel besides just the reviews. And since I have been reviewing Belle Collective since season 1 and Aikisha and Willie are no longer on the show, they have since said what they had to say. So I think it's only right that I review what they told us. So I'm out of my black owned business, but not really. And I see that Kiki has posted something entitled F It. And so the F for the day was finale. Aikisha and Willie are in their home and they're telling us about the finale, the phone. We're just going to go ahead and say that phone begins with an F for video purposes. They're telling us about the finale, the phone, and the fight. But baby, what happened during this video and what I read, I was disgusted. Okay? And all I could hear was, it's about to be a what? A girl fight. Baby, it was about to go down. So let me tell y'all what Aikisha had to say. And also, you can go over and visit Aikisha Holly Cologne. That is her YouTube channel name. And go ahead and subscribe, honey, because I'm pretty sure that she will make sure that she's dropping the tea. And she may even review the show. Hell, I don't know. Let's get into it. So Aikisha was letting us know exactly what went down and how they were portrayed on the show. First thing that she wanted to debunk was the fact that they were 3 hours late. They were, in fact, not 3 hours late. They had been sitting outside. They were not ushered in to start their scene yet. So they were sitting in their car. They were watching the ribbon cutting. They would never be late for an event such as that. They were very proud of Taste, and they were also very proud of Goddess Lengths 2.0. The reason why, because during a live, Latrice and Latrice said that they could be seen going up and down the street and back and forth and forth and back. And Aikisha let it be known that the reason why she was doing that is because she was leaving, because by this time it's 4 p.m. and I still haven't been ushered into the scene. So I'm going to go ahead and leave and go get my kids. Now, Aikisha has small children. So, of course, if we're not being ushered into the scene, I'm going to go get my babies from the daycare. That's just point blank in the period. And I don't blame her. So she leaves and she goes to get her children. She comes back and she's thinking everything is fine. You know, her and Willie are talking about how impressed they are with certain aspects of Taste, you know, the cigar bar lounge and everything. They're just really giving them their things, okay? Giving them their flowers. Now, there's a never before seen piece of footage or footages that are on the OWN YouTube channel. And I think that it is unfair that we were basically gypped out of an experience to have context behind so many things. There's a scene where Aikisha is off to the side with JJ and she's really letting him know that she didn't like certain things that he did in relation to Sophia Shantae Gucci's daughter. There's also a scene where they're at the reunion and Sophia is talking about her relationship with her daughter. There are several things that have been left out, but we all know the magic of editing is a thing. Okay, we know that it is. So really and truly, to sum it all up, they were trying to put a story together and Aikisha basically said, that's a lie. Okay, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. That's not how it really went down. That's the way that they wanted us to perceive it, and that's the narrative that was written. Moving on, Willie does not think that he's better than the men. They started with him, he didn't start with them. Now these are Aikisha's words, okay? I'm not here to debunk what she said. I'm not here to put a magnifying glass up to it and see who's telling the truth and who's not. All I'm saying is she said that her husband was depicted in a way where the men were making fun of him because of the way that he was dressed upon first seeing with the guys. That is when they were fishing. Willie was trying very hard to fit in, but the guys had something to say about him. And in turn, it felt like projection because they were thinking that he felt like he was better than them. Willie does not say many words on this podcast. Aikisha is letting it be known, honey. And you know she got her degree in radio and television, honey. Shout out to us communication majors. We can talk. So Aikisha was doing all the talking and Willie was just nodding and smiling, honey. He just happy to be there. He wasn't saying much. He did say that he liked Mississippi, but you have to understand this. The South and the North are night and day. If you pluck someone from the South and put them in the big city and they're from a small town, it may be a little bit overwhelming, and vice versa. So for him, he probably was like, okay, I'm here, you know, things are slower paced and people are moving this way and that way, and I'm really not used to that. He grew up in the Bronx. Do you know how tough the Bronx is? Okay, and please, we're not talking about J-Lo. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. We don't know what block J-Lo is really from, okay? We don't damn know, okay? I think it was just some cultural differences. I think they're from two separate worlds. We operate in the South a little bit differently. Even when I would go visit my family, they would always be like, you country, you this, you that. Like I just ride around on a horse and wear cowboy boots every damn day and night. And I am from the 4th largest city in the world. Okay, so I really can't say if he felt that way or not because feelings are not facts. So I'm just going based on what Aikisha said. Moving on from that, they touch on the phone. Now, this is where things start to go downhill. Now, I have already put a video up on Patreon about my thoughts on Aikisha's podcast, her and Willie, F it. And what had happened was she said that Latrice reached out to her 3 weeks after they had filmed. They filmed on May 22nd. 3 weeks from then, she received a call from Latrice. Now, mind you, when the brawl for it all went down, Aikisha wanted to have a conversation with Latrice because she really felt bad. She was like, you know what? I really want to apologize to her. And I just want to let her know that I didn't mean any harm. Like this, I was not expecting for this to happen. It kept getting pushed back. Oh, she gonna meet you on Tuesday. Oh, she gonna meet you on that day. Eventually, they said the scene is not going to happen. Now, she believes, allegedly, that Letitia and her wig were in between her and Latrice and causing a rift. Do I believe that? Abso-damn-lutely. I believe that Letitia had her nose and the enterprise in between Aikisha and Latrice to cause dissension. I do believe that. Yes, I do. Because the way that she had Latrice on that live, knowing dang on well she just tried to fight that woman, was diabolical. It was insanity. It didn't make no sense whatsoever. But there we are. So Letitia is in the middle of the mess and she's unable to have a sit down with Latrice to tell her she is sorry. Latrice then reaches out to her via text message, and I am going to read you the text messages, okay? I don't want to play her video because I want her to get her views. So I'm not going to play the video, but what I am going to do is I am going to read the text message. So the text message states, on Monday, June 10th, I have contacted you regarding my nephew's lost cell phone. Production advised that the phone was handed to your niece during my opening, during the commotion. It was also tracked via Find My iPhone to your address. I have requested that it be returned. I have since heard nothing from you in regards to retrieving it. Before things escalate, let me know what's up. Not before things escalate. Now, you can take that one or two ways. Before things escalate, and I call the laws, or before things escalate and I show up at your doorstep with Vaseline on my face and sneakers on my feet. Baby, either damn way, who you talking to? Okay, like who are you talking to? You catch more bees with honey. So for me, I think the way that she approached this starting out was wrong. All the way wrong. So Aikisha said she looked at it and she was just like, girl, who you talking to? So she ended up calling Latrice and she said, girl, you over here talking about some ASAP. Girl, don't be talking to me like that. And you know what? I can really relate to her saying, don't talk to me like that, because people think they can really say whatever they want to say to you, how they want to say it to you, and you're supposed to just accept it. Girl, don't talk to me like that. I've had plenty of people try to play in my face and say whatever it is that they want to say via message. Don't do that, because this ain't what you want. It really is not. So when she told Latrice, girl, don't be talking to me like that. Don't be saying no ASAP, because that sounds kind of threatening. She said Latrice started going off. Now, I'm just going based on her rendition of things. She said Latrice started going off. So she ended up hanging up the phone in her face. Latrice hung up the phone in Aikisha's face. And she was just like, girl, not you hanging up in my face. Childish much. So she calls her back. Hello. Bitch, what you want? So she started going off. She said, girl, why you hang the phone up in my face? So Latrice is going ham on the other end. And really and truly, I feel like emotions were just running high. According to Latrice, when she sat down on that live with Letitia, she said that she had been reminiscing and going through old pictures and stuff, and she realized that she still had her nephew's location, and she pinged the phone to Aikisha's address, or an address that was adjacent to Aikisha's on her street. So I feel like in that moment, she was not in her right mind. She's high on emotions, and she's just acting out and taking them out on Aikisha. It's giving misplaced grief. Now that's what it gives for me. But baby, we gonna get into it further. Because baby, what she said and did next, that was some old low down to the ground gutter snipe ghetto hood rat behavior if I've ever seen it. Okay, if I've ever seen it. So anywho, back to the story. So then Aikisha said once she hung up the phone in her face again, and she started sending out all these threats, then she told her, she said, you know what? Girl, I don't know what you're talking about and why you're acting like this, but now I'm scared. So Aikisha was trying to cover her tracks. Like, let me go ahead and tell this girl that I feel some type of way in case we ever have to encounter each other again and it be something. Now, if you watch the video, you can tell that Aikisha really wasn't scared. She was just trying to leave a paper trail because, you've threatened me. So I have no choice but to say something back to you, and a pair of lips will say anything. She could easily have said that Aikisha said this to her on the phone. Aikisha said that to her on the phone. And I want to add this. Aikisha did say during the time that she got off the phone with Latrice and Latrice had cussed her out, she was saying little things like, when I see her and blah, 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 blah. Because, girl, you just got through going off on me and then hanging the phone up in my face. So she said by that time, now she hype. She sends Latrice the text message, tells Latrice she is scared. Okay? And I'm going to read you what she said after she said that she was afraid. Child, this is just a mess, honey. I really wish you wouldn't have even gotten here, but this is crazy. So Aikisha says, it looks like you're trying to make an issue with me out of a situation that I thought was with the young ladies from Pelahatchie. When we were just on the phone, you said this is broke beach and I better produce a phone that I do not physically have. This sounds like a threat to me, and now I am scared. Okay, I'm scared. Girl, don't threaten me. So Aikisha sent that, but while all this is going on, she calls her niece and is like, girl, did you have a phone? Because this girl saying you had a phone or whatever. Now, in Aikisha's defense, Latrice is reaching out to her 3 weeks later. So if the phone was, let me tell you something. I pat myself for my phone every 2 seconds. So if I realize that my phone is missing, I'm going to make sure that I find it that day. Because people will pick your phone up and walk off. I remember one time my mom pinged her phone to these people's home and she had to go there with a police officer to retrieve it. They stole it out of the grocery store, out of the basket, which she'll never do that again. But I will go and get my phone that day. So 3 weeks later, unbeknownst to Aikisha, she did not know that Latrice's nephew had passed, and Latrice is trying to retrieve this phone, and Aikisha is thinking, girl, why would you try to retrieve a phone 3 weeks later? Okay, anyway, still not knowing the reason behind it. She calls her niece. The niece is like, girl, I seen that phone. I threw that phone out the window. Now, for me personally, I wouldn't throw a phone out the window. I don't know. That's just me. I wouldn't think, my mind doesn't register to throw a phone out of the window. I'm going to lay it down somewhere. Girl, this one of them people that she was with or something. I'm going to give it to somebody, but I'm not going to throw it out the window. Now, a lot of people debated me over on the Patreon. Shout out to my people. They said, no, Misha, I'm throwing that phone out the window. And after I thought about it, they were giving me examples like, okay, let's just say that me and you just got into a fight. I'm not thinking to return your phone. I'm hot. I'm heated. We just got into a physical altercation and you just came at my people. I'm throwing your phone out the window. And to that, I say, I completely understand. I completely understand your point of view. So Aikisha is like, well, girl, she's saying that, it's on my street or whatever. And you saying you threw the phone out. Now Aikisha is, she has knowledge that her niece has thrown said phone out of the window. But the text messages continue. Now, outside of the phone, we're going to move on to what was said to Aikisha via text message, because everybody wanted to know, well, Aikisha, what were you saying? When you showing all the text messages of what Latrice sent to you, what exactly did you say? When I was watching the reunion, I was thinking that. I was thinking, I know Kiki didn't just let her say, you old antique face looking heifer, or whatever she said during the text. I know Kiki didn't just let us talk to her like that. But Aikisha said, since they want to say she's the elder on the show, she'll take it. She does not like to talk on the phone. She does not like to text. She likes to talk on the phone. She will pick it up and she will call you. Child, I'm total opposite. Her, don't call me on the phone. I don't mind talking to you. But baby, please don't call me too often, honey. Please text me. And half the time I'm confused about the text. I'm like, oh, child. Okay, and what? You know, I will respond, but it might take a little while. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. Aikisha says she picks up the phone and she proceeds to call Latrice and they have a conversation. And that is when the madness ensued. Y'all, I am about to read this text message to you verbatim, but I will not be saying the cuss words, okay? Y'all know that I will replace the cuss words with other words so that it won't pop off over here. Okay, so now let me read it to y'all, because baby, this is a fool. Now, Aikisha did say that this text message was so long that she couldn't even read it all. That's how long it was. The text message was lengthy. She says, girl, F you, Pelahatchie, Cancun, Mexico, New Mexico, and whatever other lie you're trying to concoct. Again, you came to my events, not only threatened, you fought with 10 or more of your lower class family members. You tricked them there with lies. Remember that. Your family was recorded with effing weapons that they snuck into my bar against the rules. To assault patrons, another round of felonies for your entire family. Threatened? You're the vicious mother. I have verification of you and your family's theft and assault on tape. The phone was over $1,000, another felony. Production also verified that you and your family accepted the phone under false pretenses, another felony. Tread lightly, you antique face dummy. You don't have enough bond money for you and all of your family members, boo. Latrice, girl, let me tell you something. The minute you called me an antique face dummy, you would have seen me in your face. It ain't no way that I would have let you clown me the way you just clowned here. Okay, so but it continues, y'all. So now that I see what type of person you really are, the gloves can come off. You're trash. You and those drag queens you brought to my business grand opening to fight like gladiators, but got beat to sleep in their attempt. You're trash. You are the lowest of the low. I tried not to descend to your level, but you've made that real hard. I asked your slow, useless, unaccomplished ass to simply give me my nephew's phone back. You masculine looking, wannabe bully, big dog a witch. You took his phone knowing that it wasn't your property. That's what bums do. I guess you feel like sucking an NFL's D umpteen years ago accounts for some class or some form of prestige. B, it does not. You lack in all of those areas very poorly. What kind of gutter, throwback, unwanted ass human calls their family with lies like people were at a grand opening trying to jump on them? Who does that, B? Only manipulative trash like you. Ooh, wee. You had all of those nappy head, naughty head. Oh, child, Latrice. Girl, what is the issue? Like, what is really going on? You had all of those nappy, naughty head MFers pulling up to my events latest with weapons to fight. I can't stand pros like you. Who lies to their family to get them riled up? Yo dumb, discombobulated ass. That's who. You are useless to even your own family, B. If they had any sense, they wouldn't even F with your callous behind. People could have been killed, but for what? Your lies, B? You and your husband came to on BS. You should have just stayed home. Who would have missed you? You have zero substance, B. You should actually be a friend of a friend of a friend of the show. Baby, not a friend of a friend of a friend of the show. You're boring and fake as F. You came on the show with no identity, choosing sides and pledging allegiance to MFers like a cliquish hoe. Ooh, baby. This is just too much. B, act your MF and age, just like them wrinkles in your saggy face does. I will reiterate to you and all your hood rat, Tu Wong Fu looking family that came to my event with the BS, the ones that stole my nephew's phone, we need it back ASAP. Now, I understand that you have to wait on your aunt and your ancestors to pass away in order to secure your bag, baby. But I know damn well that Willie saved at least a few $100s while he was running footballs up and down that field, running out of breath, B. Surely he does not think for one moment that bootleg, boring-ass podcast will bring a dime to his already lint-filled pockets. Promise me that he knows that, girl. Like pinky swear. Then Willie, your husband, the one that's eating uncooked meat, started with my husband at our establishment, the one that we own all by ourselves. You MFers bragging about a business that has 20 million business partners? Girl, of course you're mad at us. Had you done more than try to secure his big show looking ass with babies and invested his money better, you'd both be further ahead. He found the audacity to tell a grown man to suck his D in our bar with a room full of customers. Tactless like a mother. He can squeeze his humongous behind right on out the closet behind that one. I'm confused. Behind what one? Or maybe she's saying he can squeeze his big humongous behind right on out the closet behind that one. Okay, because of what he said. We all know what he really prefers anyway. White women and males, allegedly, right? Being stuck with you, though, I can't blame him. At the end of the day, my nephew's phone pinged at your house. It holds valuable events and other precious moments. We want that phone back simply because it's his. Let your cracked out folks know that for me. Ask your nephew looking at his niece how her head and her back feel after being stepped on while trying to hold up for you or want to be pro, filled with lies and drama as yourself. F you. F your husband, them, your miserable life, and your feelings, B. Be blessed. Smooches. Now, Latrice, when we see you on the scene, you are sitting there looking all anxious and doe-eyed, honey, and acting like you're just always so afraid. But this is the real you. And you know what's so funny? I want all of my Marie haters to come to the front of the class because y'all just swore up and down that Marie was lying. Y'all just swore up and down that Marie is the big bad wolf and she couldn't possibly be upset about anything that Latrice could do. Now, judging from these text messages, Latrice has been holding this in. This is how she feels about Aikisha. She's been waiting to unleash. I'm not sure why she hasn't said anything in the past. Okay. All of the emotions coupled with her feelings about Aikisha and the way that her grand opening went down, she decided to unleash. Now, my thing is this. Your husband played a major role in destroying the opening of Taste. Your husband, who did not listen to you when you told him you did not want Glendale in that damn bar singing happy birthday. Your husband, who stood up, inebriated, hollering to the top of his lungs in a room filled with people, saying how he didn't like Willie. He caused this. Your husband was the very first person to stand up. I'm wondering exactly how you spoke to him that night. Now, the fact that you said that this woman is waiting on her ancestors to die and her family to die so she could get a bag, that is disgusting. That's disgusting. That's low. That's vile. And it's wrong, period. The text messages are wrong, period. There's no way around it. There's no way to try to make it sound like, well, maybe if you just, they're wrong, period. And I understand more and more why first she quit the way that she did. And secondly, the reason why she quit. These are hostile work environment conditions. There would be no way that I would want to work with anybody who spoke to me like that. Because in my mind, it would always be up and stuck. There would be absolutely no way for me to rationalize sitting in a room with you and smiling after that message. I'm sorry. These are all of your feelings. You know how they say a drunk person speaks a sober man's heart or something like that. A drunk heart speaks a sober mind. This is exactly what this is. You could not wait to unleash everything that you felt and to talk about her having children. And if she had not been sitting here having children for Big Show, then she would be able to invest her money properly when you know this woman had fertility issues, which was shared on the show. Seriously? That's what you thought made sense? I understand that none of us are perfect. And I also understand that sometimes you want to say things that may not be in your best interest. I get it. But that was calculated. It was straight to the point, and you meant every word of that. You said what you said, and you ain't changing it. So for me, I just feel like it was best that Aikisha walked away from this show. I am glad that she was able to let the people know and break the fourth wall and let them know that she was there to celebrate Latrice, and she was very happy for her. And I do feel like Latrice has let Letitia get in her ear, and I do feel like this environment is not sustainable. This kind of work environment is not the type of work environment that women of success thrive in. A long time ago, and I inserted clips over on the Patreon, but I cannot do it here on YouTube. A long time ago, Letitia sat at the table and she said, you know, I align myself with people who move a certain way. And if you don't move that certain way, I can't align myself with you. Latrice, what type of way are you moving? What type of way are you moving? Girl, don't let this show get to your head. Because a lesser person, as you would say, somebody that's lesser than you, would have completely lost it on you. These types of situations can turn bad really quickly. And I'm very shocked and I'm very disappointed in you, Latrice. I had absolutely no idea this was how you get down. Aikisha mentioned during her podcast with Willie, she also stated the reason why she quit the way that she did on Carlos King's Live after he had already received paperwork from their attorney is because she did not want Letitia and Latrice to sit anywhere and create a narrative like they ran her off the show. They didn't want her around, so she got fired. She wanted to make sure that everybody knew that she quit. And she also said that Willie had told her after the altercation at Taste that they were done. So she already knew that she was not coming back. But the fact that that text message came through and, you know, she really sees how the ladies feel about her, then she just washed her hands of the show. And that's just that on that. And that was the end of the podcast. So I basically summed it up for you. But Aikisha will give you much more detail over on her YouTube channel. And I must say, this is the second time after a season people have had to come and clear their name. First, Selena, when she did her 2-part series, and then Willie and Aikisha. It's really unfortunate. And I really think that this show may need to be canceled. Now, I'm not quite sure how Carlos King has taken over on, but he has. And I think it's time that we reassess some things. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you think about Latrice's text messages to Aikisha. What do you think about the phone? Do you think that they were right in throwing it out, or do you think that you would have returned it? I would love to hear what you all have to say. And also, please don't forget that this year, Family or Fiance is coming back, so we'll be back with that. In February, Ready to Love will be here, and my son is warming up his vocals as we speak so that he can sing us in with the theme song. Y'all comment down below, and I'm going to comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.